Welcome to VLGA Connect. My name is Catherine Arndt and I'm the Chief of the VLGA Connect studio. I hope you enjoy today's Connect episode brought to you by the VLGA, the national broadcaster on all things local government.
Hi everyone and welcome back to VLGA Connect. I'm delighted to have joining me on the program today the manager of Yarra Libraries, Felicity Macchion, to talk about a really exciting concept called Open Library. Fliss, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thanks, Chris. Nice to be here.
Great to have you here. Tell us a bit about this Open Library concept which you've had going there for a little while in Yarra.
Okay, so 2019 I was lucky enough to go overseas to Europe. And while over there, we were visiting libraries and actually saw this. They had a 24-hour concept. So we brought that back and talked to our councillors, and we got it through in 2019 to actually trial a open library, which is a little bit different. It's not 24 hours, but it's open while the library's closed. So our normal opening hours is 10 a.m. To either 6 p.m. or 8 p.m. So this open library concept was to bring more opening hours while we're closed, so opening at 8 a.m. Until 10 p.m. at night. And we started at our Richmond library. So it's for people that are either working in the city, travelling back home at late at night. The libraries are normally closed, but they can pick up their holds. So they can pick up their books that they've put on hold. They come in and swipe their library card, and they can come in and pick that up. It's for families that before school, they can come in before school, get together and read some books in our children's areas, and also for people that need to connect to the internet as well and come in to use our computers.
Is it simply a case of giving them access to the library when it's unmanned?
Yeah, we say to them it's serviced hours and unserviced hours.
Right.
So, you know, the library's sitting there vacant, all closed up. And this is a chance to actually use the facility when people need it.
So when you broached that concept with your councillors, what were some of the issues or the barriers that you found that you might have needed to address to get them across the line, or were they completely on board?
They were completely on board, but even to this day, there's risks. You know, there's a lot of risks that we've worked with our council and tried to mitigate those risks as well. It is for over 18s, but families they need to have a guardian to come in to use it. And this is just all trial. We can change things and see how it evolves over time. But there's a lot of risks. And, we've got lanyards, we've got all more security cameras in there. We're linked into our security firm. And you know how 24-hour gyms have the lanyards?
Yes.
They can have lanyards too, so people can come in and put the lanyard on and travel around the library and feel that little bit extra safe.
So it's the same sort of concept, which makes sense. How's it been received in terms of the community response?
Yeah, so we've had so Richmond Library we launched in December last year, and we've had over 400 people use it out of hours since then. And we've just launched the library behind me, our new Burgundian Library. We've launched that in April, and we've got about 250 people waiting for an induction. So they do have to do a 45-minute induction,
right.
And that's just safety. They come in and we show them all the exits and the panic buttons and all that sort of thing, so they're safe, and then they can come and use it. And the thing is, we use FE technologies, and that's the first of its kind in Australia to be used.
So what did you call that? Sorry, Fliss?
It's FE technologies. They're based in Geelong, and they are all security systems like our gates and everything like that, our RFID system. So this is the next level for them. They do it overseas, and so we're the first library service to bring it in to Australia. And the good thing about it is they use their library card. And it might seem funny, but just the reactions of people that this little library card that they've had for years will open up a whole big space to them. you know, the joy on their face when they see the doors open. It's just amazing. Yeah,
That
it's
is
really great to see.
a great concept. You've outlined some of the risk management actions that you've needed to take there. Have you had to tweak the concept much from when you opened it in your first library to expanding to others?
Yeah, no. So we are about to do a survey to our users just to see how they've found it and any tweaks that we need to do. But we keep an eye on it, a close eye on who's come in and who's not, you know, and who's using the space and how they're using it. So we did have, you know, it's really interesting that we do have people that contact us, some experiencing family violence and want to come into the space, especially on public holidays, bring their family in. And people are using it in so many different ways. With people to come in and study. There was a gentleman that is in a university library, and their libraries around Australia, in Victoria, don't open till after 8 because of COVID. And they've sourced our libraries out that are open till 10 and coming in to use it to study. So there's all different ways that people are using the spaces.
I was just wondering that very point about how many new users of your service you've attracted by broadening the offering in this way.
Yeah, a lot of new that are hearing about it through our promotions and that sort of thing. Coming in because they need a space to come and study. A lot of the people live in high rise, you know, so space is a real minimum where they can come into our library services and have the space and have the connectivity for the Wi-Fi and use their laptops or our computers, printing, all that sort of stuff. So everything you can use. So everything's open, all our spaces are open. You can, use the facility how you want to use it.
Have you had interest from other library services as to how you've gone about this? And
we sure have.
Yeah.
So we've had many visits by council as well as the library managers and their IT departments. So they're coming in and we're going through the whole system with them. And I think it's going to be rolled out as we see into the future at other library services as well. It's a real need in the community. People really need an extra space, you know, a third lounge room, as you can call it. People to come in and use the spaces where they see fit.
Fliss, you were telling me, and it might be for another conversation, but through COVID, you did a lot of work through your library service to engage with people, particularly in those high-rise sort of developments. Do you think that level of engagement you did has also led to a broader acceptance and understanding of what your library has to offer?
It sure has. You know, we've made so many different connections that people saying, oh my God, I didn't know libraries did that. And supporting them. We're not just books. You know, we have programs, we have digital. A real big thing is our digital support. So we're on our housing estates helping people download their vaccination certificates because that was a real barrier. People wanted to get out into the community, but they couldn't. They needed to show their vaccinations and check in, and they didn't know how to do that. So we were on our housing estates, printing it off for them, laminating it for them, all that sort of thing. And it just really opened up our community's eyes of what libraries can achieve. And you know, and my staff are all for our community, and we're really in touch with our community. And we didn't know that this was a barrier for them, and so we stepped out and helped them. So this is what we do. We actually see what the needs are in our community and how we can help and support them, and our partners as well.
That's fabulous. It's so good to tell those stories that allow people to understand just how significant and integral to community life that libraries are these days. You've been in libraries for a long time yourself, Fliss?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, over 30 years.
Wow. Tell us a bit about where you've come from to before Yarra Libraries.
Yeah, so I actually started off in Australia Post Library. So believe it or not, they had a library that did all research for the stamps and that sort of thing, and a business library. And then I went to Fairfield Hospital, Vivian Bullwinkle Resource Centre, which was for the HIV and hepatitis C families that would come in. That hospital was for HIV and hepatitis C families and people that are affected. So, and then I went on into public libraries. I used to manage Laylaw and Thomastown Library at Yarra Plenty Regional Libraries, and I've been with City of Yarra now for 8 years.
And tell us, I think we're running into some internet connection issues, but tell us about that building that's behind you on your background. It looks absolutely stunning.
Yeah, so this is Bagunganungan, North Fitzroy Library. So that's just turned 5 years old in May. And this was from a community group that actually wanted to rally and get a new library in their area. It used to be a little shop front 5 years ago. And now we've got this beautiful, it's got a rooftop garden, and we've got a MCH, Maternal and Child Health Centre in there, big community room upstairs, which flows out onto the rooftop. And it's one of our prized buildings in the City of Yarra. It's just lovely and very highly used. Before COVID, we had around 30,000 people coming in each month.
Fantastic. It looks great, and I really appreciate you taking some time to tell us about that, as well as open libraries, which sounds like it's a concept that's really going to take off in the library world thanks to your leadership. Congratulations to you on that.
No worries, and I'd just like to plug that libraries change lives.
Excellent. Yes, I was going to ask you to show us what you were wearing there. Thank you, Fliss. It's lovely to meet you and to hear about that, and I look forward to perhaps talking to you more about some of that work you were doing during COVID to engage more meaningfully with communities.
No worries. Thanks so much, Chris. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on. That's Felicity Macchion, the manager of libraries at Yarra Libraries, and that's another edition of VLGA Connect for you. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube or your preferred podcast app, and we'll be back with more very soon.